This is just a quick recap video to show you how to draw in technical isometric. Remember, for technical isometric, you're going to need a 30-degree angle set square and you're going to need a ruler. You always start by drawing a cube. Any shape you're going to draw in isometric can always be started with a cube. So first thing you're going to do is always roughly in the middle of the space you've been given, draw a nice faint guideline going down. Then you can draw the line for the middle of your cube. So whatever your measurement might be that you decide you need to draw your cube for, you can put that on. Now remember, if you're going to turn this into a different shape, you don't want to define those lines too much. You then use your set square, and the main thing to remember is that this is completely flat and level with the page to give you 30-degree angle lines that you need for your isometric. You then draw those again very faintly in both directions. Remember, you can have your set square just flipping over to get the 30-degree angle going in the opposite direction. You draw your lines in from that point. You can always double check at any point if you've done it accurately just by placing your set square against the line you've drawn and making sure this is nice and level. If it's off at an angle, you know you've gone wrong and you can rub it out. You then want to add in your sides, so you're going to use your ruler to measure. So I did 5 centimeters, so I'd measure 5 centimeters. Just need to make a little marker where those 5 centimeters are. You then use your set square because we've got a nice good 90-degree angle on our set square, so we can get a nice perfect vertical line, and we just draw that going nice and accurately above till it meets that line that goes across to create the two sides of your cube. The top of your cube, you just need to make sure you draw a line from here across to that middle section, again making sure your set square is always level. Now what should happen is those two lines should meet perfectly in line with that middle section. If it's slightly off to one side, it means the measurement down the bottom has slightly gone wrong. Once you've got your basic cube, you can then look at the shape you're going to do and work out how to divide it up. So I'm going to quickly show you how to do that L shape. So we know if that was a cube, it needs to be split into 4. So therefore I'm going to find the halfway point on my sides, which for 5 will be 2.5. Draw a faint guideline going down, 1 going up and across. Same then for the other side. Remember, it's all about these guidelines. When you're drawing in technical isometric, a lot of your marks will come from your ability to use these guidelines. So whenever you're drawing technical isometric, never rub out any of your guidelines, because even if the final shape isn't quite correct, if you have used the guidelines, you will be able to get some marks. If you use your guidelines, rub them out, and the shape you've drawn is incorrect, then you're likely to not get any marks at all. So make sure these are always visible. So once you've then divided that up, you can then use this to then draw your shape nice and defined. So the whole point of having drawn your guidelines faint is that when you then go over and draw in your actual shape by pressing firmer with your pencil, the actual shape will be visible and distinguishable from the guidelines that you've already drawn. You don't want them to be exactly the same. Otherwise, it's going to be very, very hard to see the shape you've drawn. And again, that'll make it difficult for you to get the marks that you are wanting. So if you were given a shape like that, for example, in your exam, then that's what we would want to see. Nice guidelines using the set square, accurate 30-degree angles. Remember, anything technical will be checked with a set square, so you need to double check. There's no point completing it and then just completely ignoring. You want to be double checking to make sure that all of your lines are at 30 degrees. The idea with an isometric, you've got 3 sets of vertical lines, or 3 sets of parallel lines. All your verticals are parallel, all of the angles going up to the top right are parallel, and all the ones going up to the top left are parallel. As long as you've got that, you will be fine.